Still investigating the suspected hit on JIC Mining Services Chief Executive Jagannath Prasad, JP Arora. The Gupta-owned mining company executive was apparently ambushed by gunmen while driving in Midrand on Saturday night. ENCA's Govan Whittles has been tracking that story and joins us now from our newsroom. And Govan, it seems we're getting a bit more detail in terms of how exactly this incident happened and who was with JP Arora at the time.
Well, Tilasizwe, as you said, he was gunned down on Saturday night in Midrand on New Road. And in the latest twist in the case, we've heard from the police that the National Investigations Unit has now taken over the case, and they're exploring the possibility that Mr. JP Arora may have been ambushed by the same gang which was known to follow people home from OR Tambo International Airport. We've now confirmed that there were indeed two other people that were in the car at the time when he was shot. The police at this stage saying that they were visitors from India, and when he was shot, we all know that Mr. JP Arora actually continued driving after being shot and tried to drive himself to the hospital, and he was found dead in the vehicle by police when they discovered his body. But it seems as if the people that were with him did not even know that he had been shot while they were doing it, and they had just assumed that the shooters had hit the car and they had managed to escape. So that's the latest information that we have from the police. Of course, no suspects have been identified as yet, and this has still shaken the mining industry, going as far as getting a reaction from Mr. AJ Gupta himself yesterday, releasing a statement saying that he'd been alarmed and saddened by the death of Mr. JP Arora, and also affirming just what an important role he played in the family's business dealings in South Africa. Of course, Mr. Arora, at the time which he died, was the CEO of West Dawn Investments. They operate as JIC Mining at the Optimum coal mine in Mpumalanga, where their contingent of workers are actually the only ones which go underground to extract the coal. And those workers, as I reported last week, have not been paid since October. So Mr. Arora has now been shot and killed. There's a murder investigation underway, but JIC Mining is still under liquidation and the workers are awaiting their salary.
So if I understand you correctly then, Govan, if police believe that he was shot by the same gang that has been following people from the OR Tambo International Airport, something that's been happening for quite a number of years actually. So it would seem that despite the intrigue and the many suspicions around his death, it could turn out to be a crime-related incident.
Well, what's key here is that nothing was stolen from the vehicle. That's what we know so far. And the reason why this has alarmed the mining industry and that the Optimum Mining Business Rescue Practitioners, the National Union of Mine Workers, have reacted in this way is because of the timing of his death. Currently, JIC Mining Services is under liquidation and the Optimum coal mine is on the verge of being sold. In fact, Mr. JP Arora was killed the day after the Business Rescue Practitioners finalized their presentation to the creditors who are bidding to take over the mine. So the timing is certainly suspicious, but the police this morning saying that they're now exploring this different avenue, though they are not writing off the possibility that this may have been an assassination. We do know that the Business Rescue Practitioners have raised that as one of their fears, and Mr. Gupta himself, AJ Gupta, has called for the police to make an arrest as soon as possible, saying that Mr. JP Arora was a loyal member of his company and he contributed greatly. These are the two scenarios that we have currently. The police so far just saying that these are the possibilities, and they're careful not to definitively say this was the motive behind his death.
So, I mean, this is the CEO of one of the mining companies in the country. But apart from a statement from Ajay Gupta, which you've alluded to, I've barely seen any kind of reaction from anyone else. Why is this? That's
correct, Tilasizwe, and this is really concerning, considering that as far as we know, there have not been any attempted assassinations or assassinations of mining CEOs in South Africa. If this was confirmed to be a targeted hit on Mr. JP Arora, it would be one of the first of its kind in the country. I called up the Chamber of Mines, the Minerals Council, yesterday. They had said that since JIC Mining Services in West Dawn is not a member of the council, they don't have anything to say about it. We haven't heard back yet from the Minister of Mineral Resources, Mr. Gupta-owned, Mantashe about the massive implications of this killing and the fact that this would be the first mining boss to have been killed in South Africa, and the NUM itself saying that it is concentrating on making sure that these workers who are owed 2 months' salary by the JIC Mining Company get their money, and that is their first priority. They haven't said anything on this as well. So deafening silence from the industry after the death of Mr. JP Arora, and we're wondering when someone is going to speak up and acknowledge the magnitude of what has really happened.
So just finally then, Govan, put this for us in context. I mean, we are dealing here with JIC, which is the Gupta subsidiary that worked at Optimum Coal Mine. It is under liquidation, but Optimum Coal Mine itself facing a situation where they are undergoing business rescue. Where does this leave us from your understanding of the processes that had started taking place before JP Arora's death?
Right, so the responsibility to pay the workers which are employed by the JIC Mining Services now rests with the liquidator, because he's liquidating that company. And Optimum Coal Mine also has its own responsibility of paying 500 workers, permanent Optimum Coal Mine staff, which haven't been paid for November. So for the moment, just to put it into context, the JIC Mining Services, the former president's son, Duduzane Zuma, was once a non-executive member. The cousin or the nephew of the Guptas, Rajesh Gupta, was also a board member of JIC Mining Services. But the JIC Mining Services is only a subcontractor of the Optimum Coal Mine, which sells coal to Eskom. So since the company is under liquidation, and the person which approached the courts to apply for the liquidation is not the employee of the workers, it means that if JIC's liquidation is finalized and that money is paid out, then the liquidator would first have to pay the other creditors that debt of 60 million which the company owes before he can then come together with the money and pay the workers the salary bill, which is about 22 million rand. So right now it's unclear when these workers will be paid, exactly where this money will be coming from, and whether or not they will have a future after the company is liquidated and will be absorbed into Optimum Coal Mine.
Govan Whittles, thank you so much for that update. And